Learning from Caitlin Clark's journey, Ilona, Maher confesses pressure of being face of women's sports. From the Olympics to dancing and now back to rugby, that's the energy Ilona Maher has got. Only 3 days ago, she entered the ground for her first match in the Bristol Bears jersey in the Premiership Women's Rugby P.O., and the match did not go as planned. Bristol Bears lost 40-17 to P.O. champions, Gloucester Hartpury, at Ashton Gate. The 28-year-old, on a 3-month contract, moved from the bench to play a good 20 minutes, but her efforts on the wings did not help turn the tide. Still, Ilona has been quite vocal about women's sports, and now, she is using WNBA legend Caitlin Clark to drive her argument home. Ilona opened up about the weight of being in the spotlight, admitting the pressure of representing women's sports isn't always easy, but she's still determined to give it her all. After the game, Ilona Maher sat down for a post-match chat, and one reporter said to her that she has been speaking a lot about making an impact, and that rugby needs those big stars who can come through internationally. And if she ever feels any pressure or responsibility to take on that role, with the same humility as before, Ilona took her time to answer. She said, "I think I don't ever feel it, but I could see where it could come from. And I guess I do in a way, because right now, it seems to be, oh, it's just a one-person thing, like, oh, we've got to get her and this and this and that." But that's not how Ilona looks at it. She is all about raising people. Ilona Maher described how she has always been about getting her USA Sevens teammates more exposure to help them build their brands, even during the Olympics. She has witnessed athletes engaging with their fans as people engage with Caitlin Clark's games because of her. It's the same with rugby. Ilona continued, "I've seen the power of people connecting with the individual and then going to a sport. You know, people connect with Caitlin Clark and go see a game, and that brings more fans in." She is convinced that the sport can expand through creating a community of stars, not a single one. If fans can relate to other great players like Holly Aitchison, Jasmine Joyce, or Evie Gallagher, it will attract more people into the game, as per Maher. Ilona concluded it with a strong statement and said, "I love being a superstar. People call me the superstar of rugby, but that's not enough for the sport. We can't just have one superstar, we need more. We need people connecting with so many different players." And for Ilona, that's the key to growing rugby, making it a sport where fans watch and support many faces and not just one face. As the clock turned on in 2024, Caitlin Clark received yet another splendid achievement that could fit into her list of achievements. On December 30th, Sporting News anointed her as the 2024 Female Athlete of the Year, and it seems almost preordained for someone who has made such an impact in the sport. The announcement raved about how Clark has been a force for college, high school, and youth basketball, and boasted that she will only become more influential as her WNBA career progresses. But hey, let's not forget the queen of rugby herself, Ilona Maher. Yes, she has been rocking the boat through her performance on the field, but what makes her even more special is the impact she has off the field. USC's Juju Watkins opens up on Caitlin Clark's white privilege comments and embracing controversial new fans. XCLUSIVE, USC women's basketball teenage phenom Juju Watkins isn't turning away any of the new fans in her sport, not even the ones that give her headaches. The meteoric rise of Caitlin Clark has injected women's basketball with waves of new fans, mainstream media hype, and plenty of arguments between the new fans and old ones. These arguments are often about Clark's treatment by the league, other players, and the media. And some longtime women's hoop stars have denounced certain supporters of Clark and discouraged them from following the sport. Former WNBA player and current Atlanta Dream executive Renee Montgomery said that many of Clark's fans cannot be a representation of what the WNBA would want in their league. During an episode of her podcast in September, WNBA legend Sue Bird lashed out at this group in her podcast in November, claiming that some of them aren't even fans of Clark, but are just acting as fans while pushing racist agendas and pushing hate. Clark herself said that some of her followers aren't fans, but are trolls in her exit interview for her rookie WNBA season after Connecticut Sun players accused some of her fans of racism during a playoff series against Clark's Indiana Fever in September. But the 19-year-old Watkins, who is currently on pace to break Clark's NCAA all-time career scoring record, isn't taking any of the new attention for granted as a college player.